Hey friends, it's Angela, and I get to talk to you about one of my favorite products today, our SeneGence powders. They come in 3 different options. However, one of them is the full face option and 2 of them are accent powders. So I'm kind of going to break it down, tell you a little bit about them, tell you what makes these powders specifically special, show you how to use them, and show you how to get them started because that's the trickiest part of all. Okay, so the natural powder is our natural translucent powder. It is our full face powder for every single skin tone. And it is pretty much magic, so it works on almost every skin tone. Sometimes the fairest of the fair or the deepest of the deep kind of get the short end of the stick, and this isn't a perfect match for them, but just about everybody in between, almost every skin tone that I've come into contact with, the natural powder will adjust and work just fine to totally match your natural skin type. Super cool color match technology. If you are one of the few that is on the spectrums, on the far ends of the spectrums, I've heard that we are working on a powder to help suit everybody's needs. So hopefully we'll have like 3 of them or something like that. But our products take a few years in development. So I've been hearing that and I'm crossing my fingers it's coming soon. But I just needed to add that before we went on. So this powder is special. All 3 of these powders are special for this reason. They are actually translucent powder that work to decrease excess shine, decrease oil buildup throughout the day, and give you a matte airbrush finish for the entire day. But they do not clump up in fine lines and wrinkles. You can see I have the powder on. You can't see it in any of my fine lines and wrinkles around the eyes. You can't see it in the wrinkles around my lips. You can't see any accentuation of wrinkles, dry skin, anything like that. So if you have like uneven skin tone and you have a little dry patch, I know some powders you'll see a little bit of flakes. This one doesn't do that. It's basically like a photo editor in a makeup tube. You get a matte airbrush finish for the entire day, regardless of your skin type, and it has protection from the environment in it. It is actually natural color pigments that sit on the surface of your skin, non-comedogenic, so it is not gonna clog your pores, but it does protect you from things like pollution and free radicals as you go about your day. So it's just like triple win. You're getting a great finish to your makeup, plus you're getting protection from the environment, and it's gonna continue on all day long. So if you are an oily skin girl and you've blotted oil away like me, or you've had to, use your powder compacts all day long, every day, trying to combat shine, you don't have to do that anymore. And if you're a dry skin girl that's, shied away from using powders because of like uneven texture, and you didn't wanna see that flakes, this is going to solve that problem. And if you're somebody who just feels like powder kind of cakes up on you and or accentuates wrinkles and fine lines, nobody wants that. This one also is not going to do that. Super, super cool. All of our powders come in an on-the-go container that actually has a brush that you can use. So once your powder is already used, you literally just open this, you push it down, so it comes like in your little container. You take this off. If this isn't down, you push it down, click to the right. Right is open on these, and you can either tap it on your hands, or before you do that, you can literally just click this, and it's going to put powder. You can see it in the top of there. Make sure it's open, and you can use this on the go. Super, super easy to use. Now, this brush is not my absolute favorite brush because it is a disposable brush, right? It's made so the powder can come through it. So it isn't the softest. It isn't going to give you the very best finish that a powder brush could. Like, there are brushes made specifically for special powder. This one works, ladies. It works on the go. It works good. It gets the job done, but it doesn't feel as soft as our other brushes, just to be honest. So if you have a brush that you love, this baby opens up. You can take and dab your brush right here on the end. If you are coordinated enough not to spill, dab your brush on the end instead of putting that back, and you can get some powder off easily. Or you can also use a loose powder container. So I've taken and dumped some of this powder, you can see it's missing, into my loose powder container, and I use my favorite fluffy brush whenever I apply it. These containers are super cheap. You can get them in any beauty store. You can even get them on Amazon. That's what I did. So that's an option for any of these powders. I think the ones I bought come in packs of 3. And if you use all 3 powders, hello, it's perfect. Okay, so that's our natural powder. I want to tell you about the other 2 options for powder. We have Silver Rose powder and we have Bronze Dust powder. After I tell you what these are what's special about these, I'm going to show you how to prime your powder when you first get it. So stick with me. Silver Rose is basically a blush powder. You can use this anywhere you want a little bit of a pinky, subtle, like rose shimmer blush. So I love this one for an actual blush. Like I put it right on the apples of my cheeks. And it gives the prettiest, most subtle shimmer with a little hint of rose. It's really great for almost every skin tone because it shows up if you have more pigment to your skin, but it isn't going to be overwhelming if you're a fair skin girl. So I really love the Silver Rose powder. The third option that we have is our Bronze Dust powder. I'm trying to find a spot that it won't fall. There we go, our Bronze Dust powder. This is basically if you like a warmer option. So the pink is kind of like a cool option, right? And then we have the Bronze Dust, which is our warmer option. I love both of them. I use both of them year round. I have some clients that like Silver Rose for summer and some that like Bronze Dust for winter. And then I have some that like to use them at the same time, like me. I use the Silver Rose, like I was telling you, on the apples of my cheeks, like a true blush. And my favorite thing about bronze is that, so these brushes are adjustable. You can use this powder anywhere on your face. Sometimes I make the brush smaller and I go in and use it as an eyeshadow if I am in a hurry. Or if you want to contour with it, you can use this right underneath of where your apples of your cheeks are, where your natural like little like dimple is. The shadow of your face is the best term for it probably. You can use this and it's going, you can use this whenever it is up like this and it makes a smaller line. Or if you want to use this as blush, you can use the big full brush as well. Super, super easy, very easy to use, very quick to use, and all of them are absolutely gorgeous. You get the environmental protection from all 3 of the powders. Totally awesome. Now, I have a brand spanking new powder here that I am going to show you guys if I can find. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to prime your powder. When you get this baby, there's like a little sticker on it. You're going to need to pull the clear part off. So you can see the little sticker kind of holds it on. So it's a little bit tough to twist off. It's meant to be that way. It's a protection thing. So like I said, your cap is going to be up. In order to get the powder out, you need to push this down and click it to the right. Listen. So like to the right is open, to the left is closed, okay? So I'm actually going to put my cap back on here now that I've showed you how to get the little sticker off, and I'm going to pull this up. First of all, the first thing you need to do is tap this on the counter. So take and tap it, use a counter instead of your hands. You hear me tapping it? That is to get all the powder out of the top to go down here. So I'm tapping it, get all the powder out, and then I'm going to open this, and you can see the sponges up here. This has all your powder. Make sure you keep this upright and do not tip it over. You'll lose all your powder. But there's a little sponge in here. I have a pair of tweezers. You can use tweezers, you can use a bobby pin, you can use like a little nail file, like the sharp metal ones. Do not pull this sponge out. If you pull the sponge out, all of the powder is going to leak through. But I like to take and pull the edges of this. And you can see the powder kind of coming out a little bit as I do that. As you pull the edges of this, it is going to loosen the powder container or loosen the sponge from the sides, and the powder is going to be able to get through a little bit easier. You didn't pull it out, so it's not going to leak on you, but it allows the powder to come out just a little bit easier. And remember, I told you, you're gonna make sure it's to the right, and then tap, 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 tap. Remember, this is a brand new powder. Do you see the powder accumulating in the bottom of that? So it's already coming. This is how you prime it. Or if you really want to do it quickly, my favorite thing is to make sure it's open, make sure the little black thing is down, and I literally just tap it on my hand. Did you see that big puff of powder come out? Like literally super easy to do. So you can prime it either of those ways. It works like this on all three of them. So hopefully that is a helpful tip for you. Once you have your powder primed, it is good to go, and you can just give it a little tap and apply super fast, and out the door you go.